Welcome to my review of, wait for it, drumroll please, Detective Pikachu. And in case you're wondering, these are like the exclusive trading card packs that I got at the theater when I purchased tickets for Detective Pikachu. But anyways, so, Detective Pikachu, the first live-action Pokemon movie released in theaters 20 years after the English dub of the first animated Pokemon movie was ever released in theaters. That's a cool little fun fact. And is this probably the best video game movie adaptation of all time? I would have to say yes. Now, I know Pokemon is based off of an anime too, but this is based off of a video game called Detective Pikachu. There wasn't an anime called Detective Pikachu. This is a video game movie, and it's actually really, really good. So what's the plot? Tim Goodman, played by Justice Smith, goes to Rhyme City after learning news of his father dying. While there, he ends up encountering his partner, his dad's Pikachu, who only Tim can be able to understand, has a heavy case of amnesia, and is voiced by Deadpool, aka Ryan Reynolds. And they're trying to uncover the mystery as to what exactly happened to Tim's dad, as well as something that could potentially threaten the balance between humans and Pokemon. So, what's great about this movie? First of all, I love how the fact that it just gives you the word Pokemon. This isn't like that upcoming abomination of a movie they like to call Sonic the Hedgehog, in which it's going to mix fantasy with reality, like they're going to bring Sonic into our world. This movie gives you the world of Pokemon. It doesn't try and not give you the world. It doesn't try and explain this in a more realistic way. It just gives you Pokemon. And not only that, but I think Justice Smith actually does a really good job in the lead as Tim Goodman. And Ryan Reynolds is the highlight of the movie. He is great as Detective Pikachu. He's sarcastic, he's quippy, and all that. But I gotta make a little bit of confession. Despite me being into a lot of geeky things, I never really got into Pokemon all that much. Like, I would watch the odd episode of the anime that aired on Cartoon Network here and there. Sometimes I would collect the cards, but I wasn't huge into Pokemon. And it was only until recently that I really just started getting into it because, with Detective Pikachu coming out, I really wanted to, get into this. And I like it. I've only seen, the first 6 episodes of the original anime. It's on Netflix, I think, right now. And I like it. I think it's fine. But, yeah, this is definitely where the fact that the first, good video game movie we're getting is Detective Pikachu. And a lot of people would like to argue otherwise. It's like the Mortal Kombat movie from '95. I like that movie fine enough, but I don't think that that's sort of the Iron Man of video game movies in which everybody can be able to agree that it was good. The 2018 Tomb Raider and Rampage were decent, but once again, it wasn't really like that. Detective Pikachu was definitely a step above those movies, but there is one little problem. It really doesn't explain Pokemon for newcomers. If you know nothing about Pokemon, you're probably going to be really confused as to what is going on, so I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give 2 scores. One, as a person who never really got into Pokemon all that much, what they might give it, and what my score is, and somebody who is a fan of Pokemon. Also, I just love the character designs. Once again, I gotta bring up Sonic. They tried very much to give Sonic a humanoid, feeling, a humanoid, look to him, and he just did not look good at all. With Detective Pikachu, Pikachu looks like Pikachu. Mewtwo looks like Mewtwo. All these Pokemon look like how you would expect them to look like in live action. And that's actually really, really good. Not only, it's got solid direction, it's got good characters, and it's surprisingly got a lot of heart to it, too. And when the emotional moments happen, they are really emotional. And not only that, but the style just looks great. I think as one person put it, this is like if Who Framed Roger Rabbit had a baby with Blade Runner, and they just happened to include Pokemon in it. But are there any problems with it? For one thing, I do feel like that the character of Lucy kind of feels like she's in her own movie. She's like this detective who's really trying to get the scoop on the story. She's sort of like the April O'Neil of the story. But she kind of feels a bit out of place. But her side deck is really cool. And it is very obvious, Bill Nighy, or the British guy, as I like to... No offense to him, but anyways, this, Bill Nighy's the name of the actor. He is so obviously the bad guy. Just the moment you see him, he's in dark shadows and all the other stuff. It's okay, that's the bad guy. But this movie is aimed for kids. It is aimed for a younger audience, so there is that. But yeah, overall, I know this is actually going to be a pretty short review, but I really don't have much to say about this movie. Because, I'm not that big a fan of Pokemon and all the other stuff. But, as I was back then, but now I'm starting to get into it and understand why it's so popular. But yeah, this is actually a really fun movie. If you know nothing about Pokemon, you'll probably have a good time, but you won't understand a lot of the subtle references that they have. But yeah, if you are a big fan of Pokemon, you'll pretty much enjoy it really fine. And if you are a casual viewer who is aware of Pokemon and is also kind of getting into it, you'll also really enjoy it too. There are, of course, going to be those people who do not like this movie. Understandable. There's always going to be those people who don't like it, but yeah, overall, I gotta say, I really did like Detective Pikachu. It's a good summer film, and while it's definitely not going to top Endgame at the box office, I do think it's going to make a decent profit because it's Pokemon. It's only been around for 23 years, and its estimated worth is about $90 billion. That's insane that it's worth that much. But yeah, and this is also going to be a spoiler-free review in case you're wondering. So if you want to be surprised about like all the other stuff that's going to happen in the movie, so I'm not going to reveal that. But yeah, this is actually not that bad a film. So for the casual audience member who pretty much knows nothing about Pokemon, I'd say they would probably give this about like a 5 or a 6. And for my rating, and for somebody who is probably a fan of Pokemon, they'd probably give it an 8. And that's what I give this movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. So, that concludes my review of Detective Pikachu. Tune in next time in which I review John Wick Chapter 3. And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to do what I did with Marvel and review the first 2 John Wick films. But to give you a brief little summation, I really do like them. I think they're great action films. And I am really looking forward to seeing Chapter 3 in the theater. But yeah, that's just to give you a little bit of a heads up. So, until next time, stay gold.